Hello, everyone. Welcome to Query Bingo. I'm Nikki Reese, and I've got a couple of friends here with me today, Kelly and Inez. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi,
You
I'm
first,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, I'm Kelly, Kelly Kennedy. I am the host of the Story Sleuths book club with Slushpile Steven, and also the idea bringer of Query Bingo.
The inventor, as it were. Yeah, I'm Inez, and I didn't prepare an intro. Also, part of the Steven team. Some would say the Steven puppet master. I mean, obviously, Steven couldn't make it today, though he really wanted to, but he was very busy in his cave munching
Mhm.
on the souls of querying writers. So we'll proceed without him, but if we're lucky, he might pop in, top hat on, bow tie, full tuxedo. He's a very fancy monster.
So, what's your querying journey been like?
Well, mine makes me want to jump off a cliff. So, so maybe we should start with Kelly's.
Yeah, my querying journey is interesting in that it is very new. I am just a couple weeks into the query trenches recently with my middle grade novel. And it's going okay so far. I'm pleasantly surprised, but also I think that because I'm still new to it, I haven't fallen deep into the pit of despair yet. So I'm waiting for that moment. I'm sure it will come soon.
Yeah, I think that compared to most people, I've only been querying a year, which is actually not that long. And I think it was kind of a combination of things where I started querying as YA, and I think YA is just not a good space to be in right now. And then I also realized that both the length and the subject matter and basically everything about my books were not YA, and they should have been queried in adult from the beginning. And I don't think that adult fantasy is much easier. It's just a competitive category, and um, I don't know. I think I should have set myself up to realize it was probably going to take a lot longer than I thought. And there's all these other things like trends and things that I have to keep an eye on. And with the length of my books, they're just really long and they're really hard to adapt. So it's kind of, I don't know, it can't really be changed or updated. It's just, do you want this book or not? And so far, the answer has been a resounding no. So that's been my query journey. I've also had some bad luck with uh, kind of weird responses or, things where my name was wrong, spelled wrong, that there were typos where the agent was making mistakes, characters' names were wrong, like main characters' names were wrong. So it just made me think that maybe, you just feel like the agent hadn't really been reading it or hadn't given it a fair shot, even after they'd requested a full. So I got this kind of bitter feeling about querying, but I know that it's not unusual, and I've seen people on Twitter saying that they've queried for years, they've queried multiple books, and still haven't gotten an agent. So it's not crazy, but I don't know, still angry and frustrated.
Well, we
And
know now for sure that some of those experiences are not unique because we've seen the query bingo replies with all of
yes,
these weird things that happen in the querying journey, and it's definitely, you're not alone.
exactly. And some of my experiences were frustrating, but I think getting ghosted on a full has never happened to me, but it had apparently had happened to a lot of people, and I would feel that that's even more soul crushing than the agent getting the character's name wrong or leaving some vague, confusing response. Like getting nothing is really, really harsh. So I guess it could be a lot worse, and apparently it's not uncommon.
Yeah. I haven't queried yet. I have submitted some short stories, but they weren't accepted, obviously. But I haven't moved forward with querying anything. Though I'm currently working on some projects. I don't really plan to query them right now, but I do know that. Having been in the writing community for like the past year now, I've seen so many people's stories about querying and the struggles they've gone through, and I totally feel for that. It's such a complicated situation, and I had a teacher once who, um, basically outlined the whole process for us. And this was years ago, including both self-publishing and querying and traditional publishing, and it was made very clear that not every agent knows what they're doing. Even like there's some out there that are kind of bad eggs. They're not really all that well connected in the community, or don't have the educational background, or um and I've been hearing from some editors and agents that their side of things has been rough too, understaffing and with just the way that traditional publishing is moving, that makes their job harder. So I just think that it's a very challenging time in publishing these days.
Yeah, totally. I agree. And I think also one of the good things about self-publishing is that it's another option. But then I think it has kind of put a squeeze on traditional publishing
Mm,
where now all of a sudden there's a lot more books out there. There's a lot more
mm,
competition, and a lot of self-published books are getting better and better. So almost to the point where you can't distinguish what's self-published and
mm,
what's traditionally published. So
mm,
I can see that the industry is changing a lot, and it makes sense that that would be the case. But when you're inside of it, it's just really hard to see the forest for the trees, and it's
mm,
hard to not take everything personally. It's hard not to scroll around on Twitter and see people saying, "Oh, I got 10 requests for
mm,
my manuscript," and then you know but you don't know the story behind that. You don't know how many books they've written, how many queries they've uh, queried,
mm,
or there's all these different factors that you don't know. But when you see it on Twitter,
mm.
it just makes you feel like, am I the only one that's going through this, or um, is it just me? Am I a bad writer, or my story is not good, or whatever kind of doubts that you have start
Yeah, well,
popping up.
and I think I know it's a really hard, in practice, but I think it's important to recognize that a huge aspect of that too is just luck. There's a huge aspect of luck in publishing, because there's so many great books that get passed over. So just because a book doesn't connect with an agent, or they don't pick it up, doesn't mean that it's not a good book. Like there's just so many factors there, and that's what's so
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
yeah, and exactly, and it's hard to pin down what that reason is, what that
Mm,
magic reason is. So, is it marketing? Is it just the wrong topic? Is it the wrong genre? Did I have the wrong, is it the wrong length? Is the wrong title?
mm,
So there's all these factors, and you don't know which one
mm,
is the problem. So it just turns into this endless swirl of self-doubt and trying to find this reason why
mm.
it's not going like you want it to go.
Well, and
And yeah,
yeah, and with the way that trends work in publishing too, is you're constantly trying to chase what's next. Like in some ways, you're also like trying to keep in with the current stuff, but I think sometimes agents are looking for the next thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like when Hunger Games was really popular, then all the
Mm,
YA dystopian novels came out, the Divergent, and there was a lot of
mm,
other ones kind of in that era. But at the same time, readers were kind of sick of it.
mm,
So maybe you'd see Hunger Games and go, "Oh, I'm going to write something
mm,
like that." And then by the time you actually get it to the agents, they'll say,
mm.
"Oh, people are sick of it. Now we're
Yeah,
doing, I don't know what came after Hunger Games, but there's all these trends that cycle through."
yeah, and that's
And
so true do with like YA romance. Like you have the vampire period, and then you have like the fae creature period. Like it's gone through all sorts of
Yeah,
phases.
that's it. The Fae period, the Sarah J. Maas ones, and then yeah, exactly. And it goes through these trends.
Oh.
And if you jump on the bandwagon, the odds are you're going to miss it by the time you actually get there. But then if you don't, the odds are no one's going to want your work because it's not trendy, it's not hot right now.
Mm.
So
I think that's why Steven is so busy, because there's a lot of despair for him to munch on right now.
He's growing
yeah,
very powerful.
it's endless. Yeah, he's a well-fed monster, that's for sure. And yeah, and I also think that another factor is the expectations. And I know we were trying to do a queer bingo party, but I'm going to complain first. And so my complaint is that when you watch a lot of movies or you hear about things, it's always like you, it's always like the person writes the book and that's the hard part, and then the query, and then or it might even skip over querying. It's just then it's published and they're earning six figures, making lots of money, they can live off of their writing, they quit their normal job, and that's how it works. And it's in a lot of films, it's in a lot of TV shows, it's in a lot of books. And a lot of people just have this conception. So when you talk to your friends or family about writing, they're like, oh, well, once you finish the book, are you going to get it published? And it's like, well, I would like to, but there's a big gap between me liking to and that actually happening. And so I think that when you have that expectation built up about all these things that are going to happen and how the hardest thing was writing the book, no, the easiest thing is writing the book. That's the easiest thing. If you can write a book, then you've achieved the bare minimum. And I just saw Molly's comment pop in, and yeah, I was like, ooh, we have a comment. I had no idea how hard querying is. TV and movies lied to me, which is exactly the situation. I remember Limitless. Did you ever see this film? It's like, I forget, it has a famous guy in it.
Bradley
He has
Cooper.
a face.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
and in it, he's writing a book, and he can't write his book, and the publishers are knocking down his door asking for the book, and he just can't think of how to write it, and then he takes the magic pills or whatever, and his brain explodes, and then he writes the book, and then he gets rich or whatever. I don't know what the exact story is, but it drove me nuts because I was watching it and I was like, no publisher would be interested in you unless you have a finished book. And even then, you're begging and pleading and groveling for them just to look at it.
Absolutely.
Do you think they have to market it that way because they know that if people knew the truth, nobody would ever write a book ever again?
Maybe. I feel that, for that story, they needed to put pressure on him that he needs to come up with this genius idea. But I don't know. I feel it's kind of a disease across all creative industries is there's a lot more people who want to get into it than there are paid positions available. So if you want to do something if you say in your film you need some scenario where your character's under pressure and you want them to be in a creative industry, then like everyone knows that acting, basically it's hard to get work, or musicians. But for some reason, books seem I guess they maybe are more shrouded in mystery. I don't know.
And I think too, it kind of boils down to the overall romanticization of anything in a lot of media, and also, I think that if you were to have a movie and like a good chunk of the movie is just them like sending emails, writing letters. Like, I just don't think that would.
Dear agent, I hope they're on Query Tracker, just like tracking, scrolling through. And
I would watch
the first hour. Yeah, I don't think Bradley Cooper would sign up for that one. That would not be the project that he picked. Yeah, so I think there's this kind of, and I think there is this. There's also these kind of success stories, the J.K. Rowlings, the Dan Browns of the world, where they do get really rich off of their writing. So I think it's the survivor bias as well, because you only see the people who are successful. You don't see all the people who are in the query trenches and never get published, or get published and their book isn't received well and it doesn't go anywhere. Or I've had a lot of beta readers where we've done beta reading swaps, and then in 6 months or a year, I reach out to them to say, do you want to swap something else or whatever? And they're not writing anymore, or they aren't checking their writing email. I just don't get any response. So I think there's a lot of people who write a book and then realize how hard it is, and just and realize there's other ways that they could spend their time that's less disheartening.
Well, and I think something too to think about is that a lot of those writers who have had success eventually did struggle a lot. Rowling had a lot of publishers tell her no, and then with like Jane Austen, like even in an era when you could pay to have your stuff published very easily, she struggled so much to get her works out there, and only with the help of other people and over time was she able to really see any success at all.
Very true. So, yeah, I think there's all these. Yeah, the struggle is just kind of hidden, and then there's a lot of stories of people who fail, and you don't hear those because no one wants to talk about the time that they failed at something. It's just not a very fun conversation topic. So I think there's all these layers on it. It does make you question why you're pressing on in the first place. Joint insanity is my only response. Collective insanity.
Well, and I think that that's kind of an aspect of the writing community, like that we have on Twitter and everything, is the feeling that we are all going through very similar things together. It's very much bonding, I think, for a lot of us.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's why I wanted to join the Slush Pile Steven community, because we're trying to make it a little bit more fun, maybe a lot bit more fun than it would be if we didn't have those types of communities to support us while we're going through something that can make you question all of your passions and talents.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also with the Slush Pile community, the vision was never to be a total writing resource, because there are a lot of writing resources, how you can write a query letter, how you can do this, which are obviously really useful, and we all use them and love them and share them. But I think sometimes you get so hung up on the process and getting that external validation that you forget what was fun about writing in the first place. So I really enjoyed the short story competition last Halloween, and it was fun just to write something not connected to my other books, and to write it in a different format and make it a little bit lighter and easier. And then it inspired me to write the Spirits of Hastings book stories. So so it kind of changed my mind a little bit about writing. Otherwise, I think if you just get hung up on how many requests you get or how many queries you send out, it just makes the whole process feel like a slog. And there's no money in it, so you might as well be having fun.
I love that you say that it's a mindset thing, because since I've joined the Steven community, I feel like I've gotten so much more involved in my own writing and other people's writing, and it's really brought a lot of joy to my life.
Yay, that's good. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. I'm also thinking that maybe we should move on to the query Mad Libs.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. So Kelly and I both prepared Mad Libs boards. So maybe Kelly, you can do yours first. And I know you sent me the document, but I haven't peeked at it. But do you want us to do like shout out what words we want to use, or do you want just one of us to do it, or someone from the chat box, or whoever says it first, or whoever has the funniest one?
Yeah, I was thinking we could crowdsource the funniest answer. And I don't think we
Yes.
need to share the screen. I'll just input the words here, and then I can read out the Mad Libs when we're finished. So I've pulled 2 real rejections that I've gotten in the past couple of weeks in my querying journey. So the first word I need is an adjective from you guys or the chat. And I can't see the chat anymore, so you guys have to run that.
An adjective.
Adjective.
This should be easier because we say that we're writers, but now
Now you ask us to say words. What are words?
I know, and I'm regressing to childhood where I was about to say stinky.
That's right.
I haven't really done Mad Libs that often since I was a kid, and so I think that is where my head goes to.
I mean, stinky is a good one.
Yeah, dashing.
Oh,
dashing.
Okay.
I like dashing.
Dashing. Yeah, let's go with dashing. I have a good feeling about it. Dashing.
Dashing. Okay, the next word I need is a little easier. I just need any noun.
That's so many options.
Any noun. China.
Skyscraper.
Oh. Skyscraper? I like skyscraper.
Skyscraper, yeah.
Okay. I need a verb.
Dreaming.
What'd you say, Inez?
Dreaming.
Dreaming? Oh, yeah, just present tense, though, so it'll be dream.
Oh, dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I need another verb.
Another verb.
Cartwheeling.
Okay, cartwheel. Cartwheel. I like cartwheel. That's a good one. And then I need an adverb.
Oh, scream's a good one, Molly.
Oh, scream's good.
Oh, scream?
Yeah. That's from the chat box. Okay, adverb. Slowly.
Astonishingly.
Wow, Nikki's really getting some good vocabulary. I'm going for the simplest ones that I can possibly think
Sometimes
of.
mine are a little bit too long.
I like astonishingly. I think that is a good word.
This is the theme we're going for as writers. We want to be showing off the skills.
And then the next and final word I need is another adjective.
Ooh. Oh, this is so hard.
It is.
Another adjective. Hot.
What'd you say?
Hot. Ooh, no, steamy.
Ooh. I like.
Perfect. Steamy. Okay, we have our final Mad Libs here with a real rejection I received.
Ooh,
okay.
Yes, and do kind of a dramatic reading like you're the agent, and you're giving some really powerful feedback to the writer.
I'll do my best. Okay, so hi, querier. I hope you are doing as well as you can be during these dashing times. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to consider your skyscraper. I carefully dream and scream each submission I receive, and I'm sorry to say that I astonishingly pass on yours. Agenting is subjective, and while I couldn't take on your project, another agent may well feel differently. I know your work is steamy to you, and I thank you for thinking of me. All the best, agent.
Ooh, that was good. I'm proud of us. That was a good rejection. We should
That was a
offer
good
this
one.
as kind of a to agents and say, do you want to spice up your forum rejections? We've got
I
it.
mean, I would love to hear I astonishingly pass on yours. Like they are absolutely astonished that they have to do this. Yeah.
I couldn't
I
believe
would.
it. It was so steamy to you.
And
And
you were
I
thinking.
passed on it.
Inessa, do you want to do the next one?
Yes, I'll do the next one. So let me see. Okay.
I like this game. I think that more
This is a
people
lot more
should
fun
have
than I
fun
thought.
rejections like this.
I thought it's a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
You could do it at like a writer's retreat and put them up on the screen, like a screen. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So the first one is a verb.
Oh, this is hard.
I know it's hard when you're on the spot, especially when you're thinking about querying. You're trying
What
not
about vault?
Mm.
vault, like pole vaulting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then noun.
Skunk comes to mind because there's a skunk in my novel.
Molly suggests throw for the verb.
That's a good one.
Oh, I have the next one is verb, so I'll use Molly's, and then I'll use skunk for the noun, and then another noun if we've got another noun.
Another noun.
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower. We've got this skyscraper Eiffel Tower. We've got this kind of.
I was also thinking architecture again for some reason. I was like bridge. It just kept shouting in my head.
And then a verb with ing.
Okay. Tripping.
Oh.
Which is something that I do a lot as a klutz.
Excellent. Okay, and now we've got a double noun. So we've got two nouns.
Two nouns.
You can get them from different people.
Bacon.
Ooh, bacon.
Lampshade. Suitcase.
I quite like lampshade. That's a real curveball.
Yeah. I see in the chat box enduring popped up. I have another verb, so I'll put
endure.
Endure.
That's a good one.
And then there's only one left, and it's an adjective.
Moldy.
Moldy. Good. Okay. All right, that's all. So all right, so dramatic reading as the agent. Dear querying writer, thank you so much for letting us vault your skunk. But we're going to throw at this time. Unfortunately, your Eiffel Tower just isn't tripping us in the way we had hoped. We know you've put a lot of bacon and lampshade into your project. Take heart. The publishing industry is very moldy. So what may not work for us could be just what another agency is looking for. We strongly endure you to continue your pursuit of publication.
These are great. I love them.
Yeah, there were some really good ones in there, like the Vault Your Skunk, and isn't tripping us in the way we'd hoped.
I also quite liked your impression of Snape at the beginning there. It was very Snape-like.
That's how I imagine agents, when they're
All
looking at
agents.
this, they're like,
They like
interesting.
spin their cloak as they reject you. They're like,
They spin their spinny chair around and they're like, let me reject. And by that, I mean, it's almost certainly an overzealous intern who's
yes.
doing all of this. And the agent's like, please stop. And he's like, I dyed my hair for this. And I
brought out my thesaurus.
Yeah. So the thesaurus is here. And they're
God,
like, oh, we're going to need a new intern.
That was good. We're at 30 minutes, so I don't know if we want to do the others or if we want to save them for another time.
Yeah, we could. I guess the only other thing we have is to pick the winners, which is the main event. I say we jump into the winners.
I agree. That's what this whole party is for.
This is why I put in fancy earrings, and Nikki is wearing a dress.
And why I put Diet Coke in a wine glass so that it looked like I was drinking wine.
Oh yeah, let's have a little cheers. Mine's
Cheers.
Juice. Cheers.
Cheers.
I thought about getting wine, but then I just didn't.
Life gets in the way of being fancy.
I know. At least I had the glass, so I feel that's good enough.
You're going for the aesthetic and needing that. So
yeah. And if I don't hold it up to the light, it looks like it could be a rosé, actually.
Yeah, no one knows the difference.
This is what I got away with at my wedding, actually, was Pepsi or Coke in a wine glass. Because it kind of, from a distance, maybe looks like a red. I don't know.
Yeah. I had real red, and I dropped it all down the front of my dress. Well, my friends cut me off from red until the end.
Good. Those are good friends.
And then at the end, there was definitely wine stains all down the front of the dress when I woke up the next morning.
So we can share the screen then, I guess.
Yes.
Of the Slush Pit entries. Slush Pit bingo entries.
Oh, wait. Before we... I can't see how many people are here, but before we share the winners, the main event, I want to pressure everyone who's not on Stephen's mailing list to join Stephen's mailing list, because Twitter's very unreliable on actually keeping in touch with people. I know I add people and have a little conversation with them, and then I think, okay, well, maybe we'll see each other's posts and can keep this going. And then I never see them again. And it's not because they're not posting, because I'll sometimes go back and search for someone and I see that they've been posting, but Twitter just hides it. So mailing list is the most important thing. If you're watching this, if you're not watching this, run out, tell your friends to get on the mailing list, because that's the only way to really keep in touch. And we've got cool things.
Yeah, there's fun things going on in this community all the time.
Absolutely.
We're trying to keep it light and fun while we're all stuck in the query trenches.
Yeah, and not trying to aggressively spam you with things to do, because I think we only send in a weekly update, so it's not going to fill up your inbox.
Yeah,
go do it today.
Yeah, do it now. Yeah, that's my plug. And now we can get on to the main event.
Oh, we've got a comment here. I'm not in any writing community on Twitter. I mostly follow artists for inspiration. Absolutely. But it's nice to see I'm not alone in this querying hell. Yes. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to share screen here.
Wonderful. So these are all of the entries we received for Slush Pit Bingo, and you can see that I've numbered them on the side. So we had
What was the
59
total
entries.
amount? Ooh,
Oh
ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, we had 59 entries. So without
Wow.
further ado, Inez, which prize did you want to draw for first? Do you want to tell people what it is?
Yeah. The first prize is a wonderful. I don't know which one is better. They're both really good. So I'll just say the first one is a wonderful illustration. So it's a custom illustration. It will look like the drawings that you see for our profile pictures and that we use for the thumbnail on this. And so it's the same artist, and you'll get an image of whoever you want. So it could be a profile picture, a headshot of yourself, or it could be one of your characters. And you'll get kind of a PNG that you can use for whatever you want. You can share it around the internet. You can make different backgrounds for them. You can have them pop up in any setting you want. So it's a great prize.
And let me
I
just
feel
tell
I'm
you,
really selling it now.
the day I got my illustration was like one of the best days of my life. Like I was
Honestly,
so
same.
excited for it. And if you want to know what it looks like, that's my profile picture on YouTube and Twitter. So if you want to see what that's like,
They're super cute.
they are.
Okay, so we can draw for that prize. I was just going to do random number generator. So whoever it lands on will get an illustration. So the number we got was 40. Let's see who that is. 40.
I can't believe
Shelly
how
Mack.
Drum roll.
organized this spreadsheet is. I've never been so organized in my entire life.
Shelly Mack at Shelly Mack Books. So we can reach out to them on Twitter if they're not here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I mean, the character art or the profile picture is super cute.
Yeah, I think it's a really good prize, and you can use it in different ways. I use those profile pictures for all types of things because there's ones with the background, ones without, and then you can add your own. So
What if someone uses it as their author photo one day? Wouldn't that be amazing?
that would be very much amazing.
That'd be cool.
I'd be really happy to see that.
Yeah. Okay,
All
and then
right.
for the second prize?
And the second prize is a mug. And it sounds not very fun. No, it's a candle.
Yeah.
It sounds like I haven't thought about it for a little while, and it's because I haven't. But I know the company that does it has a lot of different writing themed stuff. And the candle had a cute little pun or joke on it, but now I can't remember what it is. Do you remember it, Kelly?
Yeah, well, maybe we could give them a choice of the different candles because this company makes literary candles. So you can have one that smells like a plot twist or one that smells like
Yeah,
you're
the
writing.
plot twist is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of really cute candles by this company. So I think it would make an awesome addition to any writer space when you are trying to work on your next novel and not think about querying.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we can draw another random number between 1 and 59.
All right, let's see what Google has in store for us.
It says 30. It's not being very original today.
No.
But 30 is Belinda. At Belinda Renato. So we can let them know as well if they're not on the stream.
Congratulations, Belinda.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exciting. I think yeah, I am so surprised actually by how many people did query bingo. I mean, I saw that there were a lot of them on Twitter, but I obviously didn't make this list, and I didn't want to look at it because Kelly sent it, but I didn't want to look at it because I didn't want to spoil the surprise. And yeah, I'm shocked that there were so many people.
Yeah, I think it was really relatable. A lot of people had bingos and some people didn't, but there was like a running joke that we weren't sure if it was better to have a bingo or not have a bingo, because if you didn't have a bingo, it's like less bad things have happened to you. So yeah, I think it was really fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea, and of course it was your idea, so
kudos, Kelly.
Yeah, good job with that. And I know we talked about doing other ones like drafting bingo and revising bingo and things like that. I think they might be, I don't know, they might be a little bit more positive than querying bingo, but I don't know. I can think of some revising ones and drafting ones that would be,
Like me
I don't
having to rewrite the same book like 3 times.
know, yeah, rewriting the same book 3 times. Yeah, I think I could tick that square too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that could be fun, and then we can think of other activities as well that people want to do. So
And feel
Yeah, I
free to
think
send
too.
suggestions, everybody.
Yeah, I was just going to say the community should send us some suggestions on games or activities that they want to participate in, and we can think about doing those.
yeah, I think that would be really good. I'm also always trying to get people to do guest blog posts, and I haven't had much luck with it, but I'm going to keep trying.
Eventually, I'm
But
going to write one about Scrivener once I get around to it.
yeah, and I think also that these days, I don't know. I don't know if people read blogs as much as they did in the past. So I don't know. Well, we'll see if people want to do that or not. I think the games are really fun because you can see what everyone else is doing, and especially with the query boards, you can see that you're not alone. And that was
Oh,
probably the most important thing.
Agreed.
love it.
All right. Should we end there then, since I think we've hit all the main events?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
this was
so
super
glad
fun.
that we did this and we all joined in, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so we'll have to do it again, well, or something else, another
Yeah.
live stream.
And thank you to
Uh,
everyone who joined us today.
yeah, thanks. The last time we did a live stream, there was just some bots in there. It wasn't any humans. And I mean, our number one fans are bots. We're very popular in the bot community, but we're also glad to see some humans.
Definitely.
Well, thanks everyone. Catch you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.